Nous avons eu la Suisse qui s'est qualifiée pour la finale lors de la dernière demi-finale. Nous allons avoir maintenant la deuxième demi-finale de cette Coupe des Nations 2022. Et nous vous demandons s'il vous plaît d'accueillir les arbitres de cette rencontre. Merci les arbitres. Vous pouvez vous installer juste ici sous vos applaudissements, merci. La délégation de cet arbitre et maintenant les deux équipes qui se sont qualifiées pour cette finale. D'ici quelques instants, ils vont rentrer ici dans la Brandt Arena. Nous attendons que tout soit prêt encore pour qu'ils puissent rentrer. Encore quelques secondes. Ils se préparent. Sous vos applaudissements, s'il vous plaît. La première équipe qui s'est qualifiée pour cette demi-finale, l'équipe de Italie, l'équipe italienne. Italie. Ils maîtrisent le Tchoukball européen depuis plusieurs années, l'équipe italienne. Elles sont là, elles sont prêtes à jouer et prêtes à tout donner pour arriver à se qualifier pour cette demi-finale. Face à eux, une équipe qui joue de manière expérimentée, qui joue depuis très longtemps déjà. Sous vos applaudissements, s'il vous plaît, l'équipe de Grande-Bretagne, UK, Grande-Bretagne. Ils sont là, ils sont en rouge. En rouge, l'équipe de Grande-Bretagne. En bleu, l'équipe d'Italie. Where is the captain of the team of Italy? Captain.
Carola, Silvia, Anna, Arianna, Lucrezia, Gloria, Eleonora, Stefano, Olivia.
Il capitano, Chiara.
C'était l'équipe d'Italie et pour l'équipe de Grande-Bretagne.
Jess, Abby, Lucy, Maria, Ellie, Alex, Tara, Beth, and Ella.
En rouge, l'équipe de Grande-Bretagne. En bleu, l'équipe d'Italie. Referee, could you call the captain? Thank you. Petit tirage au sort juste pour savoir qui est-ce qui aura le droit d'avoir le ballon en ce début de match. Je vous rappelle en rouge l'équipe de Grande-Bretagne et en bleu l'équipe d'Italie. D'ici un petit peu moins d'une heure, on saura exactement quelle est l'équipe qui a réussi à se qualifier pour la finale, la grande finale qui aura lieu ce soir, ici dans la Brandt Arena à Genève en Suisse.
Good morning and welcome. You join us here live for the women's semi-final of the Nations Cup between Italy A and the UK. With your commentator Tom Ryan and joining me alongside Richard Jackson.
Good morning everyone.
Teams being shown live for you now on the screen. And the match we're hoping for will be a keenly contested one. The Italians who won the on their group, and the UK team who came second in their group will be facing off for a place in the final later on today. The team's just going through their final preparations now. A couple of late notice remarks by their captains, a little bit of encouragement as the referees attempt to summon the teams onto the pitch.
Yeah, traditionally very strong Italian team today. In particular, Chiara Cecchi for number 20. A very, very strong right shooter for the UK. Ella Jones probably leads the line as the most experienced player, the number 2 and captain.
Absolutely.
Probably a younger UK team than typical. A few of the national squad players out this time. Italy look fairly strong. Traditionally a close match between these two teams, so look forward to another thriller here.
So it looks like the UK are lining up with Goldson, Grenier and Parkinson on the left. And on the right hand side of your screen, Jones, Hernandez, Frost and Austin. The Italians lining up Cecchi, Abutsu and Medella on the left. And on the right, Antagaza, Donardi, Mantovani, and Montanaro.
Unlucky there from the UK. Ellie Frost on second line, just unable to take that. Good pick up from defence. First point to Italy.
Grenier brings the ball in from the back to Frost. Across to Austin, who takes it in her stride, switches across to Hernandez, but the pass is fumbled. Incomplete pass. And Montanaro will take the restart. To Abutsu. And the shot there from Madella, looping over second line. Italians starting strong in that area. 2-0. Parkinson will take the restart from the back now. Into Frost, who returns it to the same end. Goldson almost catches that. Just a couple of early morning nerves, I think, from the UK side. Abutsu with the restart. Into Donardi. Across the switch. Mantegazza. And frame ball called there against Mantovani.
To be a slightly harsh call from the referee there, but UK will take that.
Grenier, Goldson, switch across to Parkinson, and straight through the gap on the front.
Lovely shot there, Dom.
Left shooter, and yes, absolutely. What a way for the UK to get on the board. The ball coming in from the back now. 1, 2. And the long ball now to Cecchi, who completely falls to the fence, both of them covering the push shot. And Cecchi looks at that and goes, thank you very much, and takes the open inside on the 45.
Yeah, the
90.
UK caught out of position quite badly there. There are two defenders on the line, but as you say, Cecchi spots them and then shoots square of them.
Austin across to Hernandez. Switch back to Jones. Frames it. The Italians looking to play on there, and in fact they do so. Not quite sure given the referee had blown her whistle, but then landing called against Mantegazza. Frost taking the break down to restart. Switches across to Jones, who shoots again, cleanly this time, but is picked up on the Italian front line. Put across. Madella.
That's poor from the UK there. Ball's up in the air for quite a while. Good pick up from Parkinson. The Italians clearly putting 4 on Ella Jones, who's probably the strongest shooter for the UK.
Interesting that she's taking the right shooting role as well. Normally she plays left shooter for her club and has a few too many passes that just aren't finding their targets from the UK. I think they're trying to come out all guns blazing at this point, when in reality they just need to rein it in a bit, to keep a more controlled approach to the start of the game. And a great shot there from Mantovani. Lots of airtime finding the gap in between Austin and Jones. Hernandez with the restart from the back. Grenier. On to Goldson. The option ball to Grenier. Out to Hernandez. And who holds onto the ball. I think she thought she'd run out of room a little bit, and rather than concede the given point, decided to just hold on to it.
Great hands from Goldson there on the line. Spotted the higher shot, picked it up to Parkinson.
Jones just leaning in for the push-up. It's almost like she's coming in on too obtuse an angle. And therefore she's not quite getting the angle that she needs to get her push shot in. And the Italians take the point. Jones into Grenier. Goldson. Parkinson. And so
very honest play from Italy there, admitting it touched her hand on the way through. So despite the fact it lands out of court, it's got to pick up, and therefore it's a point to the UK. Interesting,
given the referees initially called frame there as well. I thought they'd just revert to the frame call.
I believe the main referee gave
overruled.
The point. Yeah.
Okay. It's Abutsu on to Mantovani.
Fantastic.
Great pickup.
Wonderful pickup there from Grenier on second line.
And Hernandez just not quite able to hold on to that. But the UK's defence is starting to come in a little bit more.
It's just the passing, Dom, isn't it, at the moment? I
Absolutely.
think a few mistakes from the UK. They're allowing the Italians to just get the ball far too often.
And again, Cecchi finding the gap there. It is a little surprising to me that the Italians' top shooter isn't being guarded against with 4 in defence from the UK.
Yeah, whilst Tara Grenea in the middle there is very strong, with a shooter like Chiara on the right there, you really need to respect her with a 4.
Frost on to Austin, across to Hernandez, switches back to Jones. For the push shot and makes it work this time.
Much better there. Hernandez taking the ball on the run really nicely, able to feed it across to Ella to dispatch it.
And the option ball out. Long to Mantagaza. But travelling called there. Frost will take the restart now. Grenier. Parkinson. Goldson. I think that bounced, but I don't know exactly where.
Did look good. It's Italy unsure, so quite rightly they can't help the referee out unless they shoot.
Mantagaza shoots, but it concedes the given point, and the Italians will take the restart from the back. Cecchi now, interestingly, taking the forehand on herself. When we talked about the needing 4 against the UK, I wasn't expecting her to put herself against the 4 willingly, but that's what she's done.
Clearly backs herself.
Mantagaza shoots, Jones takes the ball, shoots back, but the Italians on front line.
That'll be 4 passes, so she's put the ball down there, rebounded off the defence twice. Interestingly, the defender counted 2 passes and then passed it to someone who couldn't shoot, so
yeah, it was a
mistake there.
Yeah, well, at least they saved the point. Parkinson now comes over the top, but a good take on front line by Abutsu. Passed on to Mantagaza, switched to Cecchi, and into the middle of the UK defence. The defence were there, but just not quite able to catch the low hard shot from Cecchi. Ball is brought in now to Grenier. Returned back to Austin. Couldn't quite control that there. Just a few too many passing mistakes that we're seeing, like we keep saying, and it could be the difference between those 4 points that the UK are trailing by.
Yeah,
Abutsu. Popped up, well defended. Grenier onto Goldson. Parkinson will take the shot over the top. Volleyball style parried up. And the Italians catch on second line. On to Cecchi, who returns back down the same end. The UK defence entirely caught out, backing up too high on second line there for an easy score for Mantovani.
Maybe that's why she switched. Maybe Chiara backs herself against the 4 and figures she'll make life easier for Mantovani the other end.
I think quite possibly as well, if you're tactically, she may well have seen that the UK defence were pushing up quite high on second line, and therefore backing herself with the long ball to be able to return it to Mantovani, in which case that's an excellent tactic. That ball just landing in court there for the second line shot from Cecchi. Midway through the period, 10-4 to Italy A. Grenier takes the ball. On to Goldson. To Parkinson with a lovely long ball. Hernandez controls and just can't quite get it out of the D, given point. Jones into Grenier. Parkinson. Option balls out to Grenier. Can't quite control it there. Abutsu will take the restart. Hits it straight in, it goes. The Italians are trying to shoot a lot over the top, and Grenier read that there, stood up for it, but just couldn't quite control it.
So frustrating as a defender when you read the shot. You're almost on it, but unfortunately it spills.
Goldson onto Frost, onto Austin, switches across. And Hernandez's shot is caught front line by Cecchi. Abutsu to Madella, switches across to Mantovani. A lovely push up down the line, beats Goldson. All ends up.
It's going to be difficult for Hernandez on the left because she's shooting firstly against the 4 and secondly against Chiara on the right-hand side with that push shot. So,
I think the UK are hoping that with the push shot she'll be able to fake the switch and then put it across to Jones, who can push it back.
That's
lovely point there from Parkinson, beating Madella on the outside. Yeah, I think they're hoping that with the switch that Hernandez offers, she can switch it across to Jones, who then with a push shot is able to go wide to wide, and lovely defence as well there. Cecchi shooting a hard push shot, but the UK defence are equal to it, and Jones now doing the same as well. The Italians, that's the first, one of the first fumbles I think I've seen from the Italians in terms of their passing game. Grenier onto Hernandez, switch across to Jones. Comes in high but misses the frame and concedes the point. Be a normally the referees stop the game when this occurs, but in this case, as Peter, the Polish male right shooter, attempts to retrieve the ball from the stand, another ball is found and the game continues. Goldson. That's 2 times in a row the UK have missed a frame there. These are easy points that they're conceding to the Italians that they just don't need to.
The game can really get away from you if you start putting in shorts, and that is 2 in a row, as you say.
Austin, Jones returns to Austin, throws it down the line to Parkinson, just can't quite control it. Montavani, oh, Grenier almost had that, but Parkinson couldn't quite take the rebound from Grenier's left hand. Ball in now to Austin. Jones, switch across to Hernandez. Push shot low, but Cecchi is equal to it. Abutsu almost travels, but manages to return to Cecchi and pierces the front line between Jones and Austin with a powerful 45 shot. Grenier on to Goldson. Across to Parkinson, shooting square, but that's dug by Abutsu and picked up on second line by Donardi. Montegaza there, the rarer shot that we're seeing. She's typically been used to set up Cecchi on the right, but this time it's been shot deceiving Jones. Grenier. Austin with a good take. Across to Jones. Shoots high and powerfully, and can't quite take that by Medella on second line there.
Much better from Ella there. Ella Jones coming in with pace, a lot more power on the shot.
Absolutely. There needs to be a little bit more kind of attack on the ball, I think, from the UK, attacking these switches to be able to get the successful shots. And Montavani showing exactly what you can do when you run on and attack the ball there. Goldson not able to get round enough in time to be the excellent shot down the line. Jones across to Hernandez. He shoots, and it's picked up, and the Italians have to shoot this now, and this time Cecchi is the one missing the frame.
Much better from Hernandez there, changing her shot a little bit, realising who the strong defenders are. Just not quite able to penetrate that defence.
Ball into Abutsu. Montavani. Shoot high, second line, and Frost read the shot but wasn't quite able to get there. Just got half a second too late on it. Is the trouble with those first-time second-line shots is that
it's very
second
hard.
Line, you don't want to commit too much on second line in order to get there for fear of being caught out by the long ball, which gives the best chance for it. Parkinson there, just taking the point as she shoots in front of Medella. Ball in, Donardi now returns to Medella. Across to Montavani with the long ball now. Right shooter to right shooter. You can see that Cecchi's slightly more accomplished with her long ball game than Montavani is. The Italians losing the ball there. And Ellie Frost will restart. Into Grenier. Goldson. Parkinson. And that's a clean catch by Medella on front line. Donardi. Montagazza, Cecchi, and caught.
Great catch there from Ellie Frost on front line.
Hernandez across to Jones, and straight into the second line defence there. Returned, and Abutsu now sends it to Montavani, and Goldson.
Fantastic catch there from Goldson. She had control though, so saves the point with a brilliant take. Just got a little bit excited and passed the ball there, just to an empty space.
I think if that one makes the highlights reel, they'll have to cut off just before she passes it.
Absolutely, yeah. Tactful editing. It's coming to the end of the third here, 30 seconds left.
Tactful editing is the best kind of editing. Parkinson looks to fake the switch with the eyes, but then puts the shot in, and the Italian defence aren't quite able to get it. I think all of them managed to get a hand onto that, but none were able to bring it under control. Donardi, to Montagazza, Cecchi, dug up, and Austin leaning forwards just couldn't quite get the contact she needed there. And there goes the hooter for the end of the first third.
So the teams come in there. I think the UK will probably review the fact that there's been probably far too many unforced errors, a few shorts as well, and a poor start probably from the UK, it's fair to say.
Absolutely. I think what you're looking at is the fact that a team, they've looked at Italy A, and they've decided, right, we need to be on top of our game. We need to come out all guns blazing in order to do this. But they haven't been able to put that into practice. And when you're playing so close to the red line, but you're not quite warmed up into the game yet, then you're going to be making those easy mistakes and conceding the points. You almost want to be starting slightly within yourself and not allowing any of the kind of riskier plays to come out just yet in order to get a solid base before you start to incorporate your stronger plays and your riskier.
Yeah, absolutely. It's only really the very, very strongest teams that can come out fully guns blazing and do so at full competence. And it's very difficult to do that. If the passing game isn't quite there, that's when you need to really slow it down and cut out the mistakes.
Absolutely. It was, what, 8-10 minutes into this third before we saw the Italians attempt their first long ball. The rest of them were option balls out from there, which just shows even they work on the same principles as well. And the UK just need to kind of rein it in a little bit and focus themselves a little bit more mentally.
I think the UK certainly ended that first third respectably.
Absolutely.
Good plays towards the end, but just unfortunately a bit of a poor start. We'll see what they got second, third.
Just seeing a short highlights reel here, as you'd expect from the score. The majority involves the Italian scoring. Just seeing the short from Hernandez earlier there as well. 2.5 minutes left in the break. It can well be actually that if the sides are ready beforehand, that they'll conduct their team shouts and move back onto the court in good time. And if both teams are ready before the timer runs down, the referees are more than within their rights to restart the game early. But they're not taking anything for granted. They're just taking their time, making sure they talk through all their tactics and get themselves in the best place ready for the second period. What do you think the Italians are talking about in their setup?
I suspect they're saying probably more of the same. A few errors in passing, but apart from that, it's been a pretty constructive performance from the Italians. A really good start. They're solid defensively. They're shutting out the UK, what we would say would be the strike shooter of Ella Jones with the 4. So I think they'll be very pleased so far.
Yep, they might well look to get their substitute Azzori onto the field at some point, another defender. But they always say don't change your winning formula, and the Italians are certainly winning at this point.
Looks like the UK team are having a fairly comprehensive chat there. You're looking at a lot of tactical discussions in place.
And they're certainly going to have to improve on those tactics if they're to make any inroads into this deficit of 13 points that have built up in the first period. One of the UK substitutes hasn't yet taken off her jacket, so I think it's fair to say we won't be seeing her anytime soon. But it's entirely possible that we'll be seeing the other one, number 39, Wolf, onto the court at some point soon. The UK definitely have to make a couple of changes, either tactically or in terms of their substitutes, in order to start to make inroads in this game. But it looks like they're in good spirits, still ready to continue through with this game, as there are 20 seconds left before the restart. The Italians conduct their final shout at the end of their team talk and move back out onto the field. No substitutions have been made by them.
The Italians staying strong for this third, clearly.
And as we talked about, the UK have made one change. Beth Austin has come off, and Alex Wolf has come on, and she will be the one to take the ball for the restart. Parkinson on to Goldson. Shoots low, but too low into the D, and that's a given point.
Ball just slipped there, I think, as she shot.
Yeah, just see her wiping her hands on her knee pads to try and get any of the any sweat off, that she doesn't do that again. Jones across to Hernandez. Switch across again to Frost. 2 given points in a row. That's the second time the UK have done this in this game, and it's easy points conceded to the Italians. Wolf now in from the back, and Grenier just can't quite get the ball. Abuzzi will take the restart for the first time the Italians have touched the ball in this period. And the switch across. Finished by Cecchi down the line delightfully. Wolf into Grenier. Back to Austin. Shoots powerfully into the defence, and the Italian is not quite able. Donardi is putting her hands up by way of apology for not catching that there. The Italians bring it back into Abuzzi. Madella back out to Abuzzi. Long to Cecchi. And that, I think, has been, caught via the leg of Jones. Ellie Frost looks a little bit stunned there. I don't know exactly what happened. Maybe she collided with Jones.
Ball rebounded upwards there. I couldn't quite see what happened.
Wasn't sure. Maybe a collision with Jones' shoulder or something. Grenier to Goldson. Optioned out. Back to Grenier. Hernandez takes the ball flat and looks to shoot the push shot and
Lovely
gets
shot.
it against Cecchi.
Nice and low.
Hernandez saying to Cecchi, well, if you're going to keep pushing the ball past me, I'm going to do it back to you. Madella options out to Abuzzi in a slightly odd position, and Montagata can't catch the option ball out there. Wolf will take the restart. Runs in and puts it across to Jones, who shoots. I don't think the Italians thought it was going to come out there, but the shot is successful. Breaches the defence.
Jones with a few good shots now, clearly warming up into the game nicely.
And Cecchi brings the ball in from the back to Abuzzi. Montavani. Madella. And spins the ball nicely past Parkinson, who just wasn't able to get a read on that. Ball just over Jones there. Again, the UK just not able to get their passing on point. Donardi will bring the ball in via the breakdown into Abuzzi. Switches across to Madella.
Triples on.
Back to Montavani, apologies. Who hits the gap between the defender and the right shooter. Wolf not able to take the restart there. Donardi will take the breakdown to bring it back in. And correct call. Cecchi jumping from out of court to take the ball there. Even with the wider courts that we're seeing on the Brandt Arena, as opposed to some of the other ones, there's still a few times people have been caught out by just leaping from outside of court to take the ball. Parkinson called landing there. I think it's the first landing call we've seen all game.
I think it is.
Clearly fresh legs in the morning. We may see more landing calls throughout the day as people tend to get a little bit more tired.
Guarantee that.
Montavani comes in high with the high arm that goes past the right shoulder of Parkinson, just dipping down before second line could get it as well. Lovely shot. Grenier to bring the ball in from the back. Into Wolf. Turns the ball to the same end. Goldson switches across to Parkinson, shoots high, and the parry from front line takes it away from second line, and Parkinson will take the point for the UK. Madella to bring the ball in from the back.
Similar story to the first third at the moment. Lots of mistakes initially from the UK, and they're slowly coming back into it now. But it's always so hard when you start the third badly to try and get back into it, unfortunately.
Absolutely. You're playing catch-up from the start, and it really does feel as if whenever you do so, your mistakes are, or the efforts that you're putting in are just getting you back to a net zero. So it can be a little disheartening as well. Abuzzi, cross to Madella, long balls to Cecchi. Again, that long ball from the left side to the right side of the Italians hasn't been working. It seems like Cecchi is the only one who's been able to get the long ball consistently working there. But she takes the catch from the shot from Hernandez. Abuzzi takes it long. Second time in a row the Italians have dropped the possession as well, so a few mistakes creeping in for both sides now. But the UK really need to capitalise if they're going to start to work their way back into the game. Hernandez, long to Parkinson, just delays a little bit and then shoots into the D, and it's a given point. Beth Austin is coming up to the halfway line now, so I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see a UK substitute coming on soon. Not sure which one we'd see.
Could well be Parkinson on the right. It's good to see some long balls going in from the UK. I'm perfectly happy to let them off for a few drops, one of those, because I think they'll have to move the Italians around to create enough space to score.
One of the things we have seen, I think, that the Italians do better than the UK in this circumstance is in terms of when we talked about attacking the ball earlier on. A few too many times, I think the UK are catching the ball off the switch, but then taking a full 3 steps in order to do so.
Yeah.
As we see here, and it gives the Italian defence enough time to get round and in this case affect the catch from Donardi. Whereas the Italians, when they're attacking the switch or the long ball as they do so, much better long ball there.
As we saw so there.
Yeah, which only gives you 1 or 2 steps to run to the D, which gives the defence that half second less time to be able to actually react to what you're doing, and therefore a greater opportunity to score the point against them.
Catching the ball on that last step and then firing it is so much harder as a defender to read.
Yeah. Not just read, but to be able to get around the D2 as well. If you've got, you know, 1 step and a second and a half to be able to cover all that gap and get around to cover a push shot, it's so difficult to do so. And the UK just need to be a little bit more aggressive and attack the ball a little bit more. As we're seeing there, they're just not able to do so. Abutsu takes the restart. Long to Donardi. Cross to Mantegazza, and Mantovani shoots the ball but shoots it out of court and therefore concedes a given point.
Change of shooters from Italy.
Yeah, they've swapped ends back again. Jackie is now shooting against the 3 once more. Madella, Cecchi with the long ball to Mantovani, and excellent there. We're seeing
fantastic play from Cecchi there, showing how a long ball should be done. That's absolutely perfect to the last step of the Italian shooter and plenty of room on the D to shoot at.
The Italians using the switch to bring the UK defence further up one end, and then with a swift long ball to the other end. I see what the UK are trying to do there in terms of sucking the second line defence away before allowing to shoot the shot over the top. The Italians read it this time, and the return shot past Grenier. He moves around quickly, but just only able to get a left hand to that excellent push shot by Cecchi. Austin across to Hernandez, switches back to Jones, shoots high. The Italian defence catch that, and they're going to have to shoot this now. Cecchi is the second line rush up, but they just move away and leave the gap. And Cecchi says thank you very much and puts it through at head height to score.
Good second line running from the UK there, but unfortunately no touch from front line to help them out.
Goldson, Parkinson, catch by Cecchi on front line. Madella shoots, Grenier takes the catch back. The UK
good
just needs to take a second to reset themselves now. So Austin does so, feeding into Jones, across to Hernandez, shoots the push shot, and caught by Mantovani. Switch across from Mantegazza, and Mantovani takes the point in between Wolf and Austin.
Good passage of play from both teams there. Good finish there from Mantovani.
Absolutely. Ball into Grenier from the back now. On to Austin, switch across to Hernandez. Switches are quicker, but we still need to just see the UK attacking the ball a bit more. Jones with a little bit more aggression coming through at about that shoulder height, and again pierces the Italian defence. It's a very awkward height to deal with if it comes in at shoulder height. In at kind of belly height, it's a lot easier to catch, but the moment you start to shoot at shoulder height, you've got to work out what you're doing with your hands, whether you're going to turn them, and it just gives the shooter a little bit more opportunity there. Madella there, after a quick fake from the Italians, puts it past Parkinson and takes the point.
Yeah, sold a few players with that fake. It's a very nice move.
Wolf onto Austin, returns to Wolf, and the ball back to Parkinson has to take the shot. And it comes off the frame and just bounces out of court to concede the given point.
Good ball from Alex Wolf up there. Parkinson able to take it on the last step, but unfortunately just too high.
Ball into Wolf, returns to Parkinson, who goes for the long ball. One pass. Hernandez not quite able to gather that. It looked like she had it initially, but it just bounced out of her hands. Montanari takes to Donati. We've seen the Italian defender switch sides at this point as well. Oh, Goldson read it well, but the ball popped off her and just into the D as opposed to across to Grenier. Yes, we've now seen the Italians make a change as well. Number 25, Abutsu, has come off, and Azzori has come on into defence, with Donati moving into the 3 defence on the left. Montanari takes a shot there, and Hernandez just not quite able to gather that back in. Apologies, that was Mantovani, not Montanari. Donati takes the catch. Cecchi immediately shoots back. Parkinson not able to gather there.
No second line from UK there. With 4 down the other end, one of them should really be approaching second line to commit. And then if the ball does go back, they at least have a 3, but not very good second line coverage there.
UK making a substitution. Hernandez comes off, and Abby Everett comes on into the left shooter role. Just starting to see the Italians put their foot on the accelerator a little bit, and the UK have really got to keep in touch here, because otherwise they could quickly find themselves in the rearview mirror and shrinking. Medella shooting high, and second line spin past Parkinson, who just can't get a read on that.
Yeah, we haven't seen Medella shoot square, so for me the defence needs to push round a bit and cover that spin shot, and then make her change it.
Absolutely. Jones across to Everett, shoots but picked up by Azzori. Donati returns it back to Mantegazza, takes the shot, but it's a given point there.
Good coverage there from Alex Wolf on the line, nice and tight to the line. Goes back to Cecchi, who goes long to Montalvani. Good pick up from Wolf running in there, but that's a powerful shot and it just rebounds upwards. Everett with the restart.
Which comes into Grenier. Return to Austin, switch across to Everett, back across to Jones. And claimed there by Mantegazza. Donati now on to Medella. Cecchi, great dig by front line, but just past the second line defence there. Grenier couldn't have done a huge amount more with that.
Nope, good take. Again, I want to see third line come up, because that's the last pass. There's no point in third line being back where they were shooting.
Austin takes the first time shot and scores it.
Always worth putting one of those in from time to time.
Landing has now been called, I think, by the centre referee.
It has.
Azzori, Donati, Cecchi, Medella. That's the closest we've seen to square, and the UK defence catch it, and they're equal to it. Goldson now takes the shot.
It's good, I think. Oh, it's been given short.
So the centre referee initially gave it as short. The Italians sportingly saying they don't think it was short, but they're not sure. So a restart back to the attacking team has been awarded. Grenier takes the ball into Wolf. Back down to Parkinson. Shoots high and over the top.
That's the one she's been going for the last 3 or 4 shots, and it clearly paid off there. No one second line for Italy. Good shot.
I think she's capitalised on the Italians changing their defenders there, because when Abutsu was reading that, she was simply standing up and waiting to catch it. Great catch on front line from Austin there. But with Dinardi now at that end, Parkinson thinks, well, I can just try that again, because she might not have seen it. Azzori takes the catch there. And Medella, just in claiming the pass, puts her knee into the D. And Grenier will take the restart for the UK. On to Wolf. Back to Goldson. Parkinson frames the ball, but the advantage is played. Medella gets up and quickly shoots the ball back through the gap, with Goldson and Grenier covering off.
Good backing up from Grenier there. She sits in exactly the right place for the shot, but Just very harsh. And that's the end of the second period. Italy lead the UK by 45 points to 17.
The UK there. Again, they're averaging about the same number of points as are the Italians, but that gap is now growing to a significant amount, and it's going to take a colossal effort for the UK to score over double the amount of points that they've been doing so far across these periods, and restricting the Italians. So quite quickly this game has slipped out of reach of the UK. They can absolutely continue to play for pride and hope to win this period by as much as they can, but I think the reality is that they'd have to, you know,
be a Herculean effort, wouldn't it, to come back from here? I think the UK, they've got quite a few newer and younger players in there. I think they'll look to have a good third of clean, crisp passing, some nice moves. Get some of the people off the bench, get everyone involved.
Absolutely, they've used their entire team at this point, so long will that continue. But I think scoring 29 points with no reply to win the game is probably a step too far.
It's on the trickier side, isn't it? We're just seeing some of the highlights here.
Still, they can look forward to a place in the bronze medal playoff against who came second in the first semi-final.
First semi-final.
Who played the match before this? I'll be leaving you here shortly in the capable hands of Richard Jackson, and shortly to step into the booth will be Andrew Cummins. I feel like this is a little bit test match special, as you have to fill the gap in between a cricket commentary as one of us steps out.
Switching out. Hopefully we'll keep the test match style commentary slightly more interesting than cricket for those of you joining elsewhere than England and the rest of the UK.
How dare you?
We're just seeing some of the highlight reel here. We have a few more minutes before the teams come out again. Italy just going into some technical discussions at the end of the period. So just to answer the question before the quick change in co-commentators, the UK should this match continue the way it's been going so far, the UK will play Italy B in the third and fourth match playoff. Should be a good game, that one. And we'd expect Italy to go on from here and play Switzerland in the women's final later on today. So joining me now is Andy Cummins.
Morning, Rich.
So we join here with the Italy team, commanding lead of 45 points to 17. I don't know, I believe Andy's been watching in the stands before relieving Dom, co-commentator. So what do you make of it so far, Andy?
Yeah, you can see the Italians defensively are very, very strong. The UK ladies have started off with finding a few gaps, but those gaps have quickly been closed down by the Italians.
Yeah, they're definitely a tricky to shoot past. I think there were quite a few early errors. At the beginning of each third, there have been a few given points to Italy as well, which hasn't helped. Yeah. Having a slow start is always incredibly difficult to recover from in Tchoukball, as we were discussing earlier.
Yeah, you can't be giving 3 points to the opposition, especially straight off the bat, because you put yourself straight on the back foot, don't you? So.
Oh, it looks like we have a change of ends here, so I'm assuming Parkinson will continue on the right for the UK. It looks like Ella's going to probably her preferred position of left shooter. Just talking down there. So that's a very strong end that UK put down on the left side as we look, with Jones to restart.
Yeah, it looks like Ellie Frost has come on as the right shooter in the fore end.
Ellie's a capable shooter in her own right as well as defender, so we look forward to seeing that. Unfortunately, a similar first spill from the UK. Tavani shoots, and Parkinson covering the second line, just unable to get that.
Yeah, the UK needs to work hard second line with those sorts of shots, those little spills that get over the front line. Need to keep working all the way through the game.
It's 2 passes, 1 pass left. This has to go. It's going to be square. And yes, good shot from Czechia there.
Yeah, UK obviously very concerned about her wide shot capabilities. That they gave her too much on the top of the D to shoot at.
Difficult one there for Ellie to receive. Slightly wayward pass. Good shot in the end, but just landing. That's a great long ball. Jackie down the other end to Montavani. Good pick up and good take from Beth Austin, second line.
Yes.
Abby Everett going over the top. Oh, that's a great looking shot. Unfortunate to be called landing there.
Yeah, you have to be so quick on the release with that type of shot. Trying to not touch the floor while you're trying to swing your arm is so difficult.
Yeah, because obviously if you're trying to get that ball up, the arm's got to start low, which tends to mean you start low and therefore land. But
yeah.
Good effort, good thinking. It's nice to see her try something different. UK to restart.
I don't think Alex Wolf was really expecting that ball there.
She got caught a little bit on her heels there. That's short from Ellie. To be fair, that's a poor move from the UK there, really. It was begging to be moved to the other end because the Italian defence was completely settled.
Yeah, you can't be setting up statically against a 4 defence.
No, absolutely. Good shot from Parkinson, though. Good switching between Ella Jones and Lucy Parkinson there. Shot came in from the right, nicely in the gap.
That's what it's about, right? Creating gaps with quick movement. Lucy straight onto the pass from Ella, like no steps in between, just one quick step.
That's a great shot down the line from Keki. She's going to do that over and over again unless we cover it.
It's one thing I've been really impressed about the Italians is both of their right shooters able to hit that out wide shot.
Oh, Ella Jones returns the favour. It's good to see. Should be a nice duel down that end. Oh, unfortunately, I think we've got a landing given, though. The main ref overruling again with a landing decision.
Looking at the replay, I think she might have been correct as well. Right, UK need to use this.
Causing quite a few problems with that higher shot. It's coming in around sort of shoulder to head height. There's no real second line from Italy there, as we can see. They're both on the halfway. They're both covering square. It's not really a proper second line running effort, that.
And it's really interesting because the UK haven't been doing lots of long balls, so there's not really any reason why they should be hesitating to push up.
No, definitely, and especially when you're on the 4, you'd typically expect one of those defenders to commit down the other end, and worst case, if it does come back down, you still have a 3, so a little bit lazy from the Italians there.
Right.
Alex Wolf restarts, dummies it across and goes the other end. Grenea returns to Everett, puts the shot in. Oh, it's been given frame. Sounds slightly metallic when the shot came off. Yeah, we can see there clearly. Good decision from the referee. There's a lot of power on that. Great shot from Medella there. Sees the second line and goes to the right-hand side of them as they look. The UK trailing 20 points to 50 from Italy.
Yeah.
The UK caught napping a little bit there, but landing given from the referee.
Just taking too long to refocus, too long to get back into position, not paying attention to where the ball is. Really good shoot back there.
Yeah, very good shoot.
The classic, I'm coming off, so I'm going to shoot.
We've seen it time and time again in this competition. Someone gets substituted and they're like, well, I'm going to have a shot before I go. And they tend to score, which is probably a good thing. Saves them a telling off from the coach. Poor ball there from Wolf, unfortunately. Too low for Jones.
Yeah.
Donardi restarts. Has to go here from the right shooter. frame ball from Mantovani.
All right. Focus up, UK. Let's get a nice, simple play set up. Let's get some decent pass here. It's really good commitment by Parkinson on the second line, though.
Yes. Yeah, it's been very solid on the second line. It's the shoot back from Keki. And again, she aims that ball absolutely perfectly. It's landed just inside the court. She knows exactly what she's doing, going over the head of front line. There's no second line there because it's a shoot back. Really virtually unstoppable when a shooter does that to you. Good take from Wolf. Brings it back to Everett. Pass a little. It's been given travelling there by Wolf. So a cross pass again to Keki. He's going to go down that. Great hands from Ella Jones. I don't know how she did that.
Even Keki is impressed by that.
I know. It's like she caught it in a bucket or something there. It was very...
Scooped it
Very
in.
good. Hopefully we'll see a replay of that. Goes to Keki again. And again, good defence from the UK. Great stuff there. Covering the shot nicely. Good play from Ellie Frost there to recover. A little bit too quick. But good passage of play there from both teams. UK with some great defensive takes. Lovely shot there. Right in the gap from Abutsu.
Yeah, the UK have struggled with those right-handed left shooters in this game so far. They just can't read the height or the width at all.
Yeah, there's the spin shots around them. It's probably not something they face a huge amount of back in the UK, particularly when they train with other women. So not many of the UK women will necessarily have huge amounts of experience of dealing with that, and it is showing so far. There's a lot of success in those Italian shots. Grenadier across to Jones, goes for the slip again. Keki's all over that. Landing's been given again.
There's definitely anything you can do, I can do better sort of thing going on down there, isn't there?
There is. Two good shooters. Lovely shot there from Keki. Great ball from the other end as well. Fantastic long ball. Just a few steps left. Brings her arm over, spots the defence, puts it to Parkinson's right. Nice work from Wolf in the middle. Oh, good work. Good work from Jones and Parkinson there. Parkinson receiving the ball on the takeoff and delivering a quick shot. And that's what we mean by, working the Italians, moving them around the D.
It's the difference between taking those 2 or 3 steps onto the switch and taking that 1 step. You just, even if the defence are getting hands to it, it's so much harder to catch.
Absolutely. Ellie Frost there with a great take on front line, and much like Keki did the other end, a high shot to second line. Ball goes across to Keki again, once more to Dinardi. Bit too much power on the switch there from Keki. Dinardi spills.
The UK have made a sub in defence up in the forehand.
Hernandez is back on. Good shot from Everett, nice and low, but caught very well by Mantovani, who gets the return, brings it back to Cecchi up the other end. Another brilliant pass and straight through the middle. So UK having to commit second line because of Mantovani's high shot one end, but then Mantovani simply puts it to Keki the other end, and the second line hasn't recovered to get back in defence. So it's quite a dilemma. It's difficult to know how to handle those situations. I guess you have to commit less.
It just shows that Tchoukball essentially is quite simple if you can do it right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Draw the defence up and then send it back.
Another alternative might be for someone else to commit to second line, leaving Tara Grenadier as the specialist defender awaiting the shot. But you're still short in defence, so there's not much of an easy counter to the Italian play here. Keki adds a great shot. Very hard to spot that one as a defender because she draws a hand across the top part of the net at the last minute, bringing it out to Grenadier's left. Jones goes up, shoots, sees the gap and shoots. Much better from Ella Jones there.
This is much better teamwork. I've not seen this much yet from the UK women across the tournament in terms of a partnership starting to break open a defence in their switching and their decision making.
Yeah, it is a very strong shooting end for the UK. Keki down to Montalvani. Inch perfect pass. That's a fantastic catch from Hernandez on the line. Great play from both teams. Call for travelling, which...
Yeah, I think that's very unfortunate there.
I think she gets up and then she takes 2 more steps when she really shouldn't have done. That's fairly poor from the UK there, unfortunately. Good shot there from Donardi. Goes up. She sees the defences moving around the D already. It's been given landing by the referee.
Very lucky for the UK, that. I think that shows, though, with the right shooter had left way too early, which then makes the defender think, oh, I should go. And
yeah, I think they've got caught moving around there. Good shot from Montalvani just through the UK defence there. There's so much power on that. I think there's too much power for the UK defence on that shot at the moment. It's such a difficult one to deal with. Grenada puts a good long ball down to Frost. Frost shoots and scores. It just shows what happens when you get the passing right. You've seen, the Italians, most of this game have got the passing spot on, and they've got shooters running in fast and scoring. The UK, on the times they have got it right, have had quite a lot of success. That's a frame ball, so it will be taken where it came off the first defender, or should be.
There's good second line running there from the UK.
Yes. Parkinson, not too much you can do with that. The ball was quite low from Jones. Goes out to the number 28, Matigazza, and that's a point for Italy. You can see almost got spills around agonisingly in defence. Outlet ball from Jones to Grenada again, puts it down to Everett, takes it well on the run, but well caught by Italy, who are ready for it.
Frame
Be
ball
interesting
given.
to see that one again, because the Italians had 4 on the line, despite the fact that was a fairly slick move from the UK. So they're either just not running in the first place up the other end, or they're just incredibly quick.
I think there's been instances where, despite the UK getting nice passes off, they've just been really slow at executing, which the Italians, being very experienced players, see this move forming.
Good work from the UK. Slightly off pass from Keki, but we'll let her off that one because she hasn't done much wrong all game. Well recovered from Grenada, but probably should have gone for the shorter pass there if she had enough left. She had no steps left. Butsu across to Keki. That's a great dig from Denea.
And again, good second line from the UK. Everyone was up. Everyone was in a good formation.
That's a lot of power on the shot there from Ella Jones. Just too much for the second line of Donardi approaching. My apologies, Montanari approaching up the court. It's a very wayward pass from Italy.
Very uncharacteristic of these Italians.
Butsu has a grin on her face on that. I think she's probably entitled to 1 or 2 a game. Hasn't done much wrong so far. Goes for it again, but it's just...
It's the thing that I said about when I first joined the commentary. The UK show what they can do, score a couple of points, and then the Italians go, yeah, okay, you've had your fun. We're locking that down now.
Yeah, I think against the quality teams, you could probably only do the same thing a few times in a row before they immediately think, right, I know what you're doing. And then they basically stop it, cut it out now, and then change your game up again. And that's short from Frost. So definitely have to vary it against quality opposition. You cannot let them become accustomed to what you're doing.
That just...
Don't know, has the referee given that?
The referee, it looks like they gave it, but I didn't think it hit the floor before the buzzer went.
No, I don't, but we'll
take it.
Fair. We'll take it on behalf of the UK. They're losing 27 points to 61 against a very strong Italian team. Tale of 2 right shooters for the Italians, really.
Yeah.
Montalvani and Keki showing their class with some amazing passing aerial play between them. as well as a very strong defence.
Yeah, the shooting was very impressive from the right side from the Italians. Having said that, the right-handed left shooters were also very good in terms of when they shot, where they shot, how much power they had.
Yep, and as well as setting up the right shooters as well. They can take credit for a good percentage of those right shooters scoring. It's a good all-round performance from Italy, clearly very happy to be in the final. Some moments from the UK women to be proud of there. I think in defence several times they showed their class. Ella Jones really improved when she moved onto the left-hand side opposite Parkinson, and you can see the potential for that partnership moving forward.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot to come from this UK side. They're just quite a young team, so hopefully they will continue to progress.
Quick call in play, congratulating the Italian team. So watching some of the replays from the match.